back to Smart Architect. So in our previous videos we did how to insert windows, we did how to insert doors in Revit project, we did how to draw our one bedroom house. Move ahead, we did how to label our one bedroom house. We also did how to draw the roof for one bedroom house and how to insert our various components in our one bedroom house. We also move ahead and did how to save our plan as PDF in Revit. Okay, so once we save our plan as PDF, in this video I'm going to show you how to design your sheet in Photoshop software. Okay, so before you start, what you see on the screen is the interface of Photoshop. Okay, so first of all, when you open Photoshop, this is what you are going to see on the screen. Okay, so before you start creating your sheet, you have to know the orientation of the sheet you are going to use based on the plan you have. 2, you have to know the sheet size you are going to use, either A4 sheets, A3 sheets, A2 sheets, or A1 sheets based on your project. Again, you have to know whether you are going to save your sheet as a soft copy or you are going to print your sheet. Okay, so before we start, let's say we are going to create our sheet in A3 sheets. Okay, so before we start creating our new sheet, you have to go to files. If you go to files, you have new, then you click on new. You wait small, there will be a pop-up menu. Okay, so when this menu comes, you can see that we have your recent sheets that you've created. So these are some of the sheets that I've created. But then in order to set your sheet, once again I said we are going to use A4 sheets for now. Let's start with A4 sheets. Okay, so you can see that because I've used A4 sheet before, I will see A4 sheet here, but I don't know, maybe for you this is your first time of opening Photoshop, so you will not see any A4 sheets in your recent. So you have to go to print, so you click on print. That's where you are going to see all the sheets that you have, and even the sheets that you don't have, you can create them only if you know the sizes of the sheets. We know that A3 sheet is twice of A4 sheet, whilst A2 sheet is twice of A3 sheets, and A1 sheet is twice of A2 sheet, and A0 is twice A1 sheet. You get it? Yeah, so we are going to choose A4 sheet. You click on it. So once you click, you have to come back to preset details. Okay, so under it we have the width, we have the height, we have the unit, we have the orientation, we have the resolution, the color mode, we have the background content, then we have advanced options. Okay, so I prefer limited, but then you can work in centimeters, you can work in pixels, you can work in inches, you can work in points, pixels, you can work in, yeah. Okay, so I prefer the limited. So by default, the sheet size for A4 sheet is 210 mm by 297 mm. So that will determine the orientation. Your orientation will determine your width and your height. Okay, so for this video I'm going to use landscape. So meaning if I'm going to use the landscape, then my orientation shouldn't be this. So I come back to the orientation. So the orientation, this one means portrait and this one means landscape. So meaning the height will be, if I choose portrait, the height will be longer than the width. But if I choose landscape, meaning the width is going to be longer than the height. So I'll select the landscape. You can see that there is a change. Portrait, landscape, portrait, landscape. Okay, so for landscape, the width is 297 and the height is 210. Your resolution 300 is okay. Pixels okay. RGB okay. So in Photoshop, RGB means you are viewing the content only on the screen. You are not going to print it. But then CMYK, we use CMYK when we are going to print our sheet. But then even RGB, you can still print it anyway. Okay, so I think the RGB is okay. Everything is okay. Then I click on create. So once I click on create, I'll wait small for my workstation to open. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do well to subscribe to this channel, like the video, comment. If you have any topic in mind, you can share in the comment section so that we can make videos on it for you. Do also share it to your friends for them to also benefit from it. Okay, I don't know why. Okay. Okay, good. So this is our workstation for Photoshop. Okay, so this is our landscape sheet. So before we start, let me take you through Photoshop, like the various tools and all that. So when you open Photoshop, this is the workstation. So the first tool we have is move tool. We use it to move items around. We also have the rectangular marquee tool. This tool is used to make selection as well. On the right click, we have the elliptical marquee tool. That one, it comes in circle as the name says. Okay, so we have the, when you come down, we have the polygonal lasso tool. It's also used to make selection. We have the magic wand tool, also used to make selection. We have the crop tool, also used to crop items or images. We have the eyedropper, used to select similar colors. We have the move tool, we have the spot hidden, used to remove pimples from pictures and all that. Okay, the tools are a lot, but then for now, I don't think these tools we are going to use it. So we have the test tool, which is used to make some tests in our work. We have the rectangular tool, which is used to make any shape that we want to get it. Okay, so fast forward, let's start your sheet. Before you create the sheet, you have to set what we call guidelines. You have to set your, if you want to grade lines, you can set your grade lines as well, because once you are creating a sheet, you have to leave some margin lines around your sheet. You don't have to occupy all the sheets, no, you have to leave some margins around your sheet. Sorry. Okay, so before we start, I prefer bringing in some guidelines, but that will make your work proportional and also even. Okay, so let's go to view, then you go to show. We have what you call grade, then you click on it. So this is our grade line. You can see that, yes, it's like we are having grid book that we are working within. Okay, so here's our grade line. Let's also move ahead and draw our or set our guidelines layout. Okay, you have to go to, once again, go back to the view, then you go to show. So when you go to show, we have what you call, okay, so you don't have to go to show, but then you have to go to the guidelines is here. But in most cases, when you go to show, you will see the guidelines. But then I think for my Photoshop, this is where the guidelines is. So the guidelines, you have log guidelines, which is used to log the guidelines. And you have the new guideline and the guideline layout. When you select the guideline layout, you are going to see a lot of multiple of guidelines in your work. But then maybe you want just 4 guidelines, so you have to go to new guidelines. So you have to set the orientation of your guideline. Okay, so for architecture sheets, sometimes I prefer having margins around my sheet, like borderlines. Okay, so before I start, we have the vertical guidelines and we have the horizontal guidelines. So the vertical guidelines, we are going to create one for the top and one for the down. The vertical guidelines, we are going to create one for the left and one for the right hand side. And for the horizontal, we are going to create one for the top and one for the down. Okay, so let's start with the horizontal. You select the horizontal, maintain the 0 ps, the pixel, you click OK. Then once the guideline is here, you can see that, I don't know for yours, but then mine, the purpose of this video. Okay, so this is the guideline we created. So I'll zoom in, Alt plus the screw, I'll zoom in. So I'm going to use one box for the one margin. So I'll drag it here. I think this is okay. I'll create another one. So the same method I'll use to create another one. So new guideline, horizontal, I drag it down to this line, another new guideline, so vertical, and I drag it to this box. I create similar, and I drag this one to this box. So I'll zoom in. So you can see that this box and this box are not the same, so I have to bring this one here small. Okay, I can press Z on the keyboard, and when this zoom in comes, I click on fit screen. So this is it. Then I press my V, which is a shortcut. So this is how we create the guidelines. So now we are moving on to create our working area. So before we continue, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do well to subscribe to this channel. And if this is your first time of watching our videos, so do well to hit on the notification button so that you'll be updated on our next videos. Share it to your friends for them to also benefit. Comment in the comment section your topics and whatever that you are confused about. Okay, so now that we have this, let's draw rectangle in our working area. So meaning whatever that, anything beyond the guideline that you set, you shouldn't draw within that place. You get it? So meaning that place is our margin. We are not going to use. So we are going to work within the red line and the blue line that we have. So I'm going to choose a rectangle, and I'll draw my rectangle in here. But before you draw the rectangle, when you choose the rectangle, so when you choose the rectangle, do all to check your stroke. When your stroke is on, please turn it off. Click on it to turn it off. Press enter. So I'll draw my rectangle. So in creating your sheet for your architecture project or civil engineering project or any other project that you are going to use on your sheet, I mean, you want to create the sheet so that the sheet will be very interesting. I mean, your sheet alone should speak about your work. So if you are going to do that, some will prefer using different color for their background, but I'll prefer the white background. Yes, so I'll bring in some elements to make it very interesting to get it. Okay, so to do that, I'll change the color to white. Double click on it, change it to white. Click OK. By the next time, I have to set stroke for it. Set stroke for this one. So I'll scroll down, or if possible here, the empty space beside your text is where we have the rectangle one, the layer. Here, you double click on it. You see this pop-up menu. We have what we call stroke. You select it. You can see that we have stroke around it. So I'm going to reduce the size more. I think this is okay. 18 point. Maybe graphic, and then once again it's based on preferences. So I think the 13 is okay. I'll change the color to black. Okay, I'll click okay. Now okay, so you have to have your name of the institution, you have your index number, your date, and that. Okay, so we have the sheet title, the major title, and we also have the subtitle for the project. So let's say for the purpose of this video we are going to use our one bedroom house. So let's say our sheet title, the major title is one bedroom house, but then our subtitle will be maybe floor plans. You get it? We have floor plans, the elevations and all that. So our subtitle is floor plans, but then or floor plan, but our major title is what? One bedroom house. So before I do that, I'll select the text. Click here. See, one bedroom house. Let it click. One bedroom house. I click here. I press on key. Select the move to. Let's say I want the major title to be here. This one is boring. It's very boring. So we have to make it interesting. So in order to do that, I'll bring this one here. So after bringing it here, now I have to. This is very boring. So I have to design the bottom. So maybe I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll choose my rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll draw. Press V to select the move to. Okay, so once I have my rectangle, I'll click on the pen tool, I'll click on it. You can see that your point is active. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Can use the control plus the alt, control plus the scroll button to scroll left and right. So you can use this one to scroll left and right. So I zoom in, so alt plus scroll, I zoom in. So I have this. Once I have this, so let's start designing our sheet. So I'll click on here. You can see that all the points are deactivated, but then this one is active. So I'll click on it, select it, and bring it to this side. I'll select it, yes, on this one, this way. So this one, I think this one is okay. I'll use the arrow. So I click on the move to or press V, click here. So I have to pull this one to the side small. Okay. So I have this. Yes, I have this. Then maybe I'll choose the rectangle again. Or I'll select this one. I'll press Ctrl J to duplicate. Ctrl what? J. Ctrl J. Duplicate. It's very, you can see that the layer has been duplicated. So I'll drag this one to the side small. this side. Once again, select my pen to zoom in, click on it. So when you right click, you already know that we are going to select the add what anchor point. You click on it. So once again, I'll select it. So I'm going to bring this one to this side. Okay, it's okay. Bring this one to this side. So I'll press V on my keyboard. I'll bring it to this side. Okay, it's okay. I'll draw my rectangle. Press V on the keyboard. I'll zoom in, bring it down a little bit. I press Shift plus. I right click. I change the color to black. So change it to black. I change. Double click. Black. Okay. I bring this one to this side. I double click on it. I change the color to black. Then I click here. I type, press enter. I click and I move it up a little bit. Good. So now we have this. So we can move ahead and do our names for the sheet. So let's say you are starting with your name, you type the T on keyboard, or you click on the T, you click here, you type, you see your name, you click, so maybe my name is what? So I click here. Because the color is black, the background is black, that's why we are using it. But if you check at your layer, you can see that the layer for my name is under the rectangle, so I have to bring it up. In Photoshop, we work in layers, and in Revit, we work in multi-levels. So I have to bring the layer up, click and drag up. Once you see the blue line, you click, you release. So I come back here, I double click, I change the color to white since the background is black. I click here, I zoom in, I resize it. So now I have my name. To make my name will take one box. So I double click, I click here, I press enter. So maybe program. drag it to this side. Use your scroll plus alt to zoom in and zoom out. You can see that yes, it is going on. It is what's going on. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share it to your friends, hit on the notification button, comment in your comment section whatever that you are confused about so that I will elaborate on that for you. And also any topic you have in mind you can share. So I select my rectangle, I draw something here. Then double click on this side, change the color to black. Okay. Once again I choose my words, then to right click, add anchor point to, I click here, drag it to maybe this point, yes. Okay, press on the move tool or the V on your keyboard. Okay, so I have to resize it. I think this one is too big, so I bring the cursor here, I press shift, then you click and you drag it up. This one is okay, so I have to bring in some text. I can duplicate this text, so I select it, Control J, and bring it up. But then I have to check the layer. The layer is under the rectangle. I have to bring it up. Click, drag, bring it up here. So I have to change it, maybe floor plan. I resize it. I bring it up. Double click, double click, double click. Change the color to white. Okay, I zoom in. Resize it. Okay, it's okay. I select Control Alt. Good. Now you can see that yes, we have some sheets that we can put our Revit project on it, or any project that we have we can put on this sheet. Okay, so I think still there are more to be added to this worksheet, but then maybe for you this one is okay, but to me I think we should add something to it. I've downloaded some PNG file which I'm coming to add it to this sheet. So I'll go to file, go to open, download. So there's it. I click, so I'll open it. Okay, so this the PNG file. I'll drag it and bring it up to my project, my sheet. I release it. Okay, so this is my what I want to add it to my sheet, but then it's based on preferences. Whatever you want to add to your sheet, you can move ahead and download it and bring it to your worksheet. so it is conflicting with the design that we have. So you have to change the color and reduce the opacity. So I'll click here, I'll double click the empty part, I'll bring it here, take the color overlay, so I click on it, so I prefer the ash. Okay, so once I have this, I'm going to reduce the opacity so that everything will be on point. So the opacity here, I'll reduce it to maybe 25. 25 is too much. So let's say 13 will be okay. So 13, then 13. Okay, so once you have this, let's try and hide the grid lines and the guidelines so that we see how our sheet is given. Okay, so you have to go to view, you have to go to show, click on grid lines, view, show, guidelines. Good. So this is what we have for now. So I think this one is okay. Okay, so any project that we have, we can put on our sheet. But then for now, let's try and save the sheet as PDF or Photoshop file so that we can get the original file. In case you want to use the same sheet for another project, we just have to change the title, we have to change maybe the name and all that. Okay, so we are going to save it as Photoshop file. So you have to go to file, go to save as. So I'll choose desktop. So here the save as type, you have to select PSD, which is Photoshop. Then maybe the name, I'll change it to my first sheet. I think okay, wait, check here. Yeah, okay, it's done saving. So let's say I want the sheet as image. I'm going to print the sheet, so I'm going to save it as image. I have to go to file, go to what we call export. We have to export, click export as PNG. We are going to use export as, so I'll use export as. So once this one comes, okay, so there's preview of it. So you have to change the format to PNG. The JPEG will change or reduce the quality. I don't like saving my works in JPEG, so the PNG. Okay, so everything's alright. Click on export, choose desktop, my first sheet, save. Good. So our sheet has been saved, and now we are done saving our sheet. So our next video, I'm going to show you how to bring your work from Revit to Photoshop and arrange your project on the sheet in Photoshop. Then you save it and you print it. You get okay. So for now, you end here, and as we are leaving, if you didn't subscribe, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and also share it for us. Thank you very much. See you in our next video. Bye bye.